Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duskmos, and today I'm here with the Duophony from GFI system. The Duophony is a really useful parallel signal blender. And basically what that means is it can take a input signal and route it through its brains and then out to an output. In that middle section, that's why all the wires are coming out of the sides, it's actually sending signals out and receiving them back in, and then blending all that together. So in this case, I'm coming out of the Syntakt from Elektron, going in stereo into the Duophony, and then the first loop goes out in stereo to the Strymon NightSky, back in stereo, and then also a secondary loop going out stereo into the Strymon Deco, and then back in again in stereo, and then finally outputting the stereo output of everything going on into now my TX6 mixer from Teenage Engineering, and then out to my camera. It took some cabling to make all this happen. As you can see, all the jacks are filled here, but these are TRS jacks, so it's the one with the 3 prongs, well, not 3 prongs, but the multiple rings. Go ahead and unhook it. So as you can see, it's got like the tip, ring, sleeve, so not 3 prongs, but 3 elements, and that's how I can go out splitting into 2 normal 1/4" jacks. The only one that isn't a TRS to 2 of the normal 1/4" jacks is the one going to the Deco, because that just has a TRS input, so I'm going TRS to TRS on that one. That's some nerdy technical stuff, but it helps understand a little bit what's going on here a little bit better, I think. So basically what this can do is send those signals out and manage how that happens, and how they come together. So it's sending what's coming from the Syntakt out to the NightSky, and I can choose how much of that gets returned, and then I can also send some out to the Deco. How much that gets returned, I decide, and then send out that blend of all of everything else that's going on out to the mixer, to the camera, or whatever you're running your audio to. So it's cool. It lets you use multiple effects in a way that allows you to blend them, and you don't have to run them in series. So I wouldn't have to go into the Deco and then out of the Deco into the NightSky and then out of the NightSky into whatever. I'm able to, at the same time, basically split off the Syntakt into both of them, have them both come back in, and choose how much of each I blend in. So you really get a little bit more of a finer tooth comb, a little finer touch, to decide how much of everything you get in your final output, and it's really cool. The alternative to something like this would be to basically split the output, run it to the individual effects, whatever they are, and then remix those back down in a mixer. And so this just saves a little bit of that headache, and also allows you to do it in a little bit more of like a pedal board friendly or desktop friendly package. So now that I've kind of explained a little bit about what this does and how this all works and comes together, let's go ahead and demo. So as always, I start with my clean pattern, which is a little bit of a minimal thing coming from the Syntakt. Yeah, real basic, but lots of room to breathe between the notes, so we can really add a little bit of awesomeness to the whole situation. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to activate the Duophony. So right now you can see that nothing happened, and that's a good thing, because I'm basically just more or less bypassing right now. I have it mixed out. But what you can also see is that this ring around the outside, or it's really 2 halves if you think of it like that, represents that it's only getting signal from the Y loop, not the X loop. So this is the Y loop, which is going to the Deco, and the X loop is going to the NightSky. And so even though this shows that this like cyan color shows it's getting just signal from the Deco, I actually have that bit bypassed at the moment. So to do that, I can activate it by clicking in this knob. So now you can hear I'm getting signal from the Deco. but there's nothing from the night sky right now. Even though it's actually fully active, I just have it muted. But if I unmute it by clicking this in, no change. But that's expected because you can see by these rings that it's fully the cyan color, so I'm only getting Deco. But if I want to start in to bring in some night sky, I can blend. You hear a little subtle hint of it. I don't know if it's too bright to tell, but there's this cyan and then it goes to green, and the green is the amount of X loop. The top half of this circle is your left channel, and the bottom half is the right. So you can actually separate those values if you wanted to send different amounts of each effect to either ear, or either channel, which is cool. But I'm going to blend in more of the night sky now. So now you can hear that you're actually hearing more of the night sky than the Deco, and that's because you can see the amount of blend. It's definitely way more green than the nice blue color. You can actually blend it all the way out if you want. You can see the amounts of the loops as well up top here. So Y is 0, X is 100. So again, Y are the ones coming out of this side, send a return from the Deco, and then X is that. So you're verifying up there the amount of each. Now, if I click this in, because remember this is the sort of the controller for the X loop, click it and you lose the reverb signal. Same thing here, if I were to mute that, even though it's blended out, I can drag it back in. Because it's muted, actually all I'm doing is fading out the night sky because the Deco is muted. So you can use that to kind of fade between effects if you wanted to, which is cool. And as you can hear, re-engage the Deco. Now, you can tap this and get the dry signal amount of pass-through. So if you want, you can lessen the amount of dry signal. Sorry, my aim isn't very good because of how I film. I have my microphones kind of in my face, and but yeah. So yeah, you can change the amount of dry signal that you get passing through. So if I were to, let's see, go to 0. Get out of this. Right now, again, we have all Deco. We'll mute the night sky. And as we go to fade back, have we gone the wrong way? You see it just fades out the audio because right now there's no dry signal being run through an output because we turned it down. So we can bring that back. And now we have our dry signal, but we also have our effects we can turn on and off by clicking here. So now we'll mix in some Deco. Oh, I started from the wrong side. That's my bad. It makes sense if you think about it. Like the bluish color is this side and the green is that side. So if you want more of the Deco, you have more of it coming out. I don't know. Just the way I'm thinking about it. And that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's all cool. That alone is a really neat feature, being able to blend, oops, I went into that mix. Be able to blend two stereo effects or two mono effects. Really awesome. But one thing that you can do that is kind of like the next level bit of this, I'm gonna bring in more Deco, is going into, oops, I went to the global menu, I didn't mean to do that. Let me get out. Press and twist. Now if you can hear it, there's modulation going on, and it's panning. Change the wave type, wave shape. Which is really cool. So you can get all these cool rhythmic patterns, and as it blends or pans. In this case, it's panning. This is just no panning, but still blending between the NightSky and the Deco. Pretty cool. You can change the speed and depth. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a gentler wave. Okay, so yeah, you can change the speed by moving along this top half of the circle. So you can hear it's very fast to slow. As I mentioned, you can tempo sync this if you want, which is cool over MIDI. But then down here is the depth, so you can speed it up, keep the depth a little lighter, make them move really slowly, really up the depth. So I'm moving this lag control to make it kind of do the tape sounds. So you really hear the Deco come in and out. And this is just really cool. I feel like it takes your pedals to a totally different territory. Being able to LFO between, you could jump between maybe two reverbs, or, you know, two delays, or two instances of the same pedal that you happen to have two of, and like fade between the different versions of how you have them set up. Really cool, and lots of options. And I think this part, like the LFO bit, is really, like I said, the pièce de résistance. Like totally the like really cool part of this. So I clicked that in and gave it, now like it's just in that setting. You see the LFO reacting with that light, which is cool. You can still control how much you get of, I guess, of like the blend, but you can still hear the LFO is bringing in the NightSky. Like if I bypass it, you hear it just fading in and out the Deco. There's gain control as well. So you can up the gain or drop the gain of either loop. And so for example, now they're both off, so you're just getting the clean signal. So if you're in this LFO mode and you feel like the NightSky is just a little bit too intense, you can boost the gain of just this loop if you wanted to. Back down the one on this side and make it a little more subtle. Obviously you have the controls as well on both pedals that you're looping out to. So I mean, I can change and just do whatever you want, and I don't know, like just so many options. It's really cool. This one's a weird one. I'm gonna change up the modulation. Slow down the speed. Yeah, you can see how this can be a really cool tool to just, again, like take your effects up a notch and help you kind of level up, get a little bit more out of what you already have, which I think is really cool. And I'll go ahead and stop there. So yeah, anyway, really fun, as you can tell, kind of endless possibilities. I was actually even thinking about how it would be cool if you ran multiple sources in the loops, and then you had it LFO modulate between like two synths or something that you're controlling with like a MIDI splitter and then playing like whatever pattern on that, and then you have it kind of go between these different voices like that. I mean, there's another opportunity right there. It's like another thing this could do, which I think would be really awesome to experiment with. So anyway, that's the GFI system, Duophony. Really cool parallel blender with lots of hands-on, fun controls, and yeah, infinite possibilities. Well, that's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.